Welcome to the top 5 most useful solar eclipse items in Terraria. Number 5. Coming in at number 5, we have the Deadly Sphere Staff. So you can see it, they do kind of this piercing little attack, but at the time, obviously the damage isn't extremely good. Actually, though, it does do more than the Stardust Dragon Staff in terms of base damage, which is, pretty significant. But they do this little kind of piercing thing. For the time you get it in the game, it's actually a really good staff. It is kind of rare, however, from the Deadly Spheres. Obviously is where it drops, but yeah, you can see it does do a pretty decent job if you had a bunch of these kind of out there. So yeah, that is number 5. Number 4. In at number 4, we have the Broken Hero Sword, and obviously by itself, it doesn't do any damage. It's not a real sword, but it can be used to make the True Knight's Edge and the True Excalibur, which when combined, used to make the Terra Blade, which obviously is an amazing auto-swing sword, which you can get relatively early in the game. Well, not, early in the game, but you know what I mean. With 105 damage, obviously I do have beetle armor, so it might be a little lower base damage than that. Anyways, it's just an extremely useful weapon, whether or not you're just using it for the Terra Blade, or any of the other kind of variants. But yeah, that is number 4. Number 3. Coming in at number 3, we have the Death Sickle. So the unique thing about the Death Sickle is that it can actually go through walls, and unlike the Ice Sickle, it kind of lasts a lot longer. I think the Ice Sickle, which is like the kind of smaller, less beefy version of the Death Sickle, when it hits a few enemies, it'll kind of disappear, but this one actually does last a lot longer, and I think it actually goes farther through the walls. Obviously, it does do more damage as well. But overall, I use the Death Sickle a lot after I get it. So yeah, that is number 3. Number 2. Following up the Melee Hype Train, we have the Eye of Cthulhu Yo-Yo. This Yo-Yo is only attained through Mothron, which is kind of a pain that you can't get it from any of the normal enemies, but overall it does an extremely high amount of damage for that time in the game. I remember when I first got it, I actually used this as my main weapon, which was, yeah, it was like pretty dominating on the enemies at the time. Yeah, and it does 146 melee damage for me, obviously, because it is godly, and I am wearing beetle armor and stuff, but still, that's a lot of damage. So, anyways, the Eye of Cthulhu Yo-Yo is just an overall really useful yo-yo for the time. Number 1. In at number 1 might be a little unexpected, and that's actually the Moonstone. So the Moonstone by itself isn't extremely good, but if you combine it with the Sunstone from Golem to make the Celestial Stone, and then use the Moon Shell, which is the Moon Charm and the Neptune Shell, you combine those, you get the Celestial Shell, which is an honestly amazing item. It turns you into a werewolf at night and a merfolk, one entering water, and then a minor increase to all of your stats. Again, this isn't exactly the item we're talking about, it's the Moonstone, but it's just the fact that the Moonstone is kind of a part of that, which I guess is a kind of a little cheating on putting that on the list, but yeah, that is number 1. Anyways, guys, hopefully you did enjoy, this top 5 video. If you disagreed with any of my picks and had, a different top 5, make sure you go ahead and leave that in the comments. And what would have been, my question today for you is, what would have been your number 1? Would it have been the Moonstone, which goes into the Celestial Shell, or would it have been something else, like the Death Sickle, Butcher's Chainsaw, anything like that? So, again, hopefully you did enjoy today's video, and I will see you in the next one. Peace.